Welcome, my name is PTG2000. I will be your tank driver today, and as we check out our teammates here, just want to let you know that I had a lot of fun in this match, and I look forward to showing y'all and giving y'all an idea of what I was thinking as the match progressed, and how I went about doing pretty well for myself, and hopefully you could use some of these strategies to help yourself in the future matches that you may have at this tier. Knowing that my tank is pretty slow and I'm not going to be getting anywhere anytime soon, I grabbed the first available cover, which happens to be the bombed out house in front of us, letting our teammates run out ahead and scout. I stay in zoomed out view while waiting for a target to pop up on the minimap, and if not on the screen in front of me, checking out what my teammates are doing, which side they're pushing on, finding a target here, trying to lead it very little because it's not exactly a fast tank till it gets going right there, and I misjudged a shot there, led it fairly decently, and now he's going down a rise, and I took one last pot shot and of course missed, as usually happens there. This BT2 is actually lasting quite a while running around out there, and that's presenting me with a few targets. Now we're waiting for them to show themselves again. Here we go. A little lull tractor over here, and dodges into the swamp by the river. Now as we line up this Panzer II here, it's very important, even at these low tiers, that you wait until the circle is smallest, because usually your position is given away when you fire, so you might as well make sure you have the best chance of hitting your target, as we're doing here quite well. And 1 second here, last shot, and there he goes, first kill of the match. Scanning for other targets, usually best done by zooming out and panning the turret, as you see me doing there. The enemy team is doing a great job of gaining a hold down position, giving me very few targets, and I back up to avoid being spotted and shot, even though the front of my armor in this tank is hard to penetrate by the guns from the enemy. Now I've started to reposition my tank, seeing as most of my team is in the line here with these houses. I'm going to watch the flank from the swamp and the hill. I've got 2 friendly tanks going up the hill, but usually 2 is a good scouting party. It's not great offensive capability unless at higher tiers they are heavy tanks supported by artillery. As always, situational awareness is the key to these matches, and here we've spotted another T2MT in the swamp coming up. Our reposition was very timely in this case, bouncing a few of his rounds and finally knocking him out. Acquiring another target, a lull tractor shooting at us here, and of course you gotta love it when they disappear on you, but usually if you can see where they disappeared and they weren't moving, or you tracked them like we did in this case, you can keep firing. Obviously he must have moved because my shots did not impact and kill him. Recognizing that my team has now moved up to try and get some free shots in, I'm repositioning again to bring my guns to bear on the other flank. This T2MT is doing a good job of getting hold down. We get a lucky shot in there on his turret. He's backing away wisely, trying to gain that advantage once more. We can't seem to land another good shot in on him, and he disappears. And we try one more time and then switch back and acquire other targets. Another T2MT appears, and we get around these fences here so we can shoot over. 1 second, and here we are at extreme range. This tier, this kind of range, very hard to get shots landed. It's more luck than anything else. Find that lull tractor again that's been slowly moving up the swamp, and with some help from some teammates, there he goes. Backing up again, checking our minimap. Our northern rush has disappeared on us, so now we have to watch from that flank as well. Moving up the hill a little bit, trying to gain some advantage with some elevation, and hopefully I can get up there before I'm spotted. This tank is moving a little bit right now, but as you can see, I'm not going very fast. I'm hoping my team can hold the base, and if they can, I will be free to cover this flank and hopefully get some fire from the hill above the river over here. Hoping nobody comes down off the hill through the trees, because I won't be able to spot them. I'm obviously more focused on the hill, because in these tier matches rarely do people go all the way up the hill this late into the match after they've already killed what they would assume would be the hill force. I'm moving up here, kind of focused more ahead because there's no friendlies in front of me. I'm watching base on the mini-map, looking for spotting. Slowly making my way up here, checking that swamp, because at this tier they usually push there, if not on the short side, on the southwestern part of the minimap. Oh, and here's one of the worst enemies of this tank and other tanks. Hills. We gotta love that. Slowly but surely pushing and pushing. And almost this whole time I'm watching my minimap very closely and the main screen with my peripheral vision, making sure that no tanks are sneaking up on my right or through that swamp, as I stated before. If I can get to these trees and this hill up here, I've got some pretty good cover to spot, and usually from here you spot them going on the downhill side so they don't see you and you can get them from the rear, which is, as always, the goal. As you can see, one already snuck by me, two, and I'm going to try and get some flanking shots. And on my mini-map, just about now, I'm noticing, hey, look, there's some guy to my left. And I take a round, luckily it bounces, and he's got that little 20mm pea shooter. And we're going to lead him a little bit and hopefully get him here. And there he goes. Moving now back down to base. It's always a scary situation because the enemy usually pushes, like you see in that field to the southwest, when you're flanked, and if too many of your teammates turn around to face the one threat and turn their back to the other, you're going to lose a lot of friendlies very quickly. So we're now trying to snipe here a little bit because I know I'm not fast enough, and if I go down in that valley, I will not be able to shoot up at these guys. One more shot here, I'll finish that Tetrick. Oh, he moved. BT2, and still missing. As I stated before, the accuracy of these guns leaves much to be desired. But if he sits there for us, it gives us a much better chance. And looks like he's about to go right here. Yep, and he's down. Now we start moving up because that Tetrick tank is hiding in the back, and luckily one of my teammates got him. Unfortunately, I did lose the bulk of my team here, so I'm going to go back to base, because if I pushed any further on the hill, I would not be quick enough to get back to base to prevent a cap. As I'm pushing back here, I'm noticing that my team is pretty much gone. I've got one other friendly in the area. Luckily, he's spotting for me, but he will more than likely be gone before I can get up there to support him. He's doing a decent job at least hurting the enemy, and as always, that's the goal, to at least make your hits count before you go. That should be any tanker's goal, is to always make shots count, because you only get so many per match to shoot. As having a fixed reload time, you never know when artillery is going to hit you, etc. And I'm almost at the top of this hill once more, going as slow as possible. There goes the last enemy. And this tank, it will be mine if I can just get up this hill. And I don't believe he knows that I'm coming until I pop my head up. And there he is, and there he goes. Luckily, and then we got the little French tank here, taking some flanking fire now, which is another threat that we usually face when you just crested a hill. This French tank is very heavily armored for the tier, and I have a heck of a time penetrating it, as you can see. Luckily, his gun cannot penetrate my front, but I've still got these shells bouncing off my side from another tank. But the key here is to focus and kill one enemy before engaging the other. It takes time to move your turret, and you have to shoot several times to kill a tank. So anytime you can eliminate one threat before facing another, it is a good thing to do. The 38T, or 35T, pardon me, can penetrate the front of my tank, so I've got to be careful. Taking out this other 35T, I'm thinking I'm gone right here, so I'm not even turning to face him. And luckily, I bounced just enough to not eat it right there. The T1 Cunningham here is not much of a threat to the front of my tank. He is doing a good job hiding behind this Hulk, but unfortunately for him, his other teammate did not come to back him up, so right now it's just him versus me, and I'm zooming in there to make sure I can get past the Hulk and taking him out as quickly as possible. This whole time I'm wondering where his teammate is, because if it were me, I would have been pushing up to support his flank. As you can see now, it's one-on-one. I'm feeling a little bit more confident. The health is down. I'm facing another French H-35, which I know has got a lot of armor, and I'm hoping I can get my front to him because I know his gun cannot pin my front. But there's always a lucky shot, so you'll want to make sure he's not using HE on you. And luckily, I don't believe anyone at this tier is using HE. which it's debatable how effective it is, and since the last couple patches, they've really nerfed it. As we can see, there he is. I'm going to close the distance a little, use the cover here, and start sniping at a distance. Not sure if he spotted me yet, but by now he must have. He's still pressing on. He disappeared, but I'm going to keep firing. No reason to hold back now. There's only one enemy. I know where he is. He knows where I am. I'm going to get around the edge of the fence here and set myself up to where my front is facing him. And he can only get me on the front half, and I'm penetrating him very quickly, trying to give myself as small a profile as possible. Luckily he misses. I hit a few non-critical times, and here we go. And he's done, and that is the match. Again, thank you for watching, and hopefully some of this helped, and I look forward to seeing you on the battlefield.